Good morning. Megan Camille here, your intuitive business consultant, talking about a very necessary topic for any business owner, which is how to start charging more today. If you are already in business and you're looking to scale, you're wanting to make more money and work less hours, probably one of the first things that you can implement is charging your worth and charging your value. And most entrepreneurs and business owners find difficulty in that. Right? They really find difficulty in that. And so I'm going to go over how to know what you should be charging, how to price yourself, your services and or your products, as well as how to make a shift if you've already got a set price. Like my client, Dr. H, who had a very set price, a consistent price that she had been working with for years and years of people coming in to see her for their appointments, and she was charging like $250 per appointment. And when she hired me to come in and support her in scaling from $600,000 to $1 million, we really looked at her pricing, and that pricing was just no longer serving her. And so we increased that price to $850. Now, this is where intuition and energetics play a huge role in your business, because anyone can come in and say, well, yeah, just raise your prices, right? Like that is strategy right there, to raise your prices so that the numbers actually match the end goal. Now, where most people can't continue forward with that strategy is their internal alignment with it, right? They don't believe that other people will continue working with them. They don't believe they're worth it. And after months of us working together, and then Dr. H crossed that $1 million mark in 2022 by November, we were tuning into what worked for you that allowed you to embrace this $1 million year after her last year of 600,000. And here's what she said, and this is so important, because really I was ready for her to be like, well, obviously increasing my prices and leveraging the online space. And she said, well, I had been working on increasing my prices for years, but couldn't feel integrous about it, right? She didn't feel that she was allowed to charge that, or that these loyal patients that she had had for so many years would even stick around if she were to do it. And so she said, what really stood out for me was being able to go in and intuitively download the perfect price for her and for her patients, and then the internal work of learning her worth. And what this means is that when we are tuning into our intuition to be guided on our pricing structure, what we don't do is look into the outside world, the matrix, and say, what will those people pay me? What is someone else in my industry charging? And then base our prices off of what someone else is doing, what someone else says they can and cannot afford. Instead, we go in, right? We go into our own internal knowing. It is the intuition. We tap into the quantum field where our business is already at that level of success, and download that information and then put it into action. Right? And that's exactly what we did with Dr. H. I tapped into her energetic sphere. We got clear on the number that her business was requesting. And then we implemented it and worked through the fears and the self-judgment that was coming to the surface about her scaling her business and raising her prices. And she said, that's what really made the difference for her. That sure, she knew for so long people had been telling her time to raise her prices, but no one could support her through making the change and then integrating the change, right? Like really embodying that she is a top tier physician, really embodying her worth versus, well, if you want to hit that number, increase your prices, right? And that's the difference between strategy and energetics. Anybody can have the strategy, but if you can't energetically align, then it doesn't matter. You could spend years wishing that you could increase your prices, or you will increase your prices and you will bump up against that unconscious belief, which is, no one's going to pay me this much. I'm not worth it. Who am I to do this? So on and so forth. And a great example of this is a woman I was talking to just the other day who had chosen to pick a price to work with her, which was $1,000 a month. And she said, oh, no one will ever pay me this. Even my daughter says that that's just too much. No one would ever pay for that. And consequently, she created that, right? Instead of saying, okay, here's what I would like, and now what comes up to the surface? How do I get to move through that? How do I get to shift my energetics? How do I get to resonate with that sort of success and that sort of value? Instead, it was just like, oh, those people out there won't pay me, so I need to change what I want. Right? Whereas Dr. H said, here's what I really want. Yes, I have this fear coming up. So let's go into the quantum field, learn where that unconscious commitment is coming from, and move through it. And this is the difference between just regular business coaching, where you're handed a strategy and saying, hey, hopefully you have the capacity within you to run this strategy, versus intuitive business consulting, which is, here's the perfect strategy for you, and whatever comes up, let's move through it. Let's integrate these unconscious commitments. Let's free yourself from these fears and really align with a high level of time, joy, freedom, and financial success. Now, if that sounds like something you're ready for, I am bringing on 2 more clients this month for my Sacred Success mentorship, where we not only align you with the greatest strategy based on your soul and your business's essence. I do this by going into my channeled state, tapping into your quantum grid, your quantum field, your energetic sphere, and downloading what your highest self has to say and what your business has to say that is the exact path to your desired result, to your business success. So that's how I work. I go in, I download the strategy that is in alignment, that is already in a future timeline of success and enjoyment and time freedom. This is how you have a business in ease and grace, instead of just like spinning your wheels like, what should I do? What should my prices be? What is my strategy? We tap into source consciousness. All of the information is always there for your taking, for my taking, for everyone's. And so if using your intuition is maybe not your strongest suit, that's where I come in. I download the information for you as we strengthen your own intuition. My goal is that you do not need anyone after our time together, right? That you are so tapped in and tuned into your own intuition that going in and getting the guidance is easy peasy. It's how I've run all of my businesses and continue to today. So if this speaks to you, my link is in the comments below. If you're catching this replay, #replay, say hello, let me know you're here. Would love to know. Okay, bye for now.